Hello everybody and welcome to the Scouting Report. I'm Dan Hayek here with Matt Doyle, and today we're previewing the match between the Portland Timbers and San Jose Earthquakes. Matt, we haven't really seen the Earthquakes offense quite clicking as much as it was last year when they scored 72 goals, but now Bash brothers are back, Steven Lenhart and Alan Gordon. Do you expect one or both of these guys to have an impact against the Timbers this weekend?
They have to. It's the way Frank Yallop's attack works. The target forward checks to the ball in the midfield and then turns and goes into space and takes the near post run when they get into the final third. If they're not having an impact in the midfield, then San Jose is not going to generate chances. That is almost as important as what they actually do in the box. And I would actually argue that the Quakes have done a good job of sort of replicating what they did last year, even without the Bash brothers, even without Marvin Chavez, who probably missed this one as well. They just haven't finished as well. Chris Wondolowski in particular. I mean, it's hard to say a guy's in a slump because he has 3 goals in 6 games, but he could have 8.
Yeah,
he really could.
From a Portland perspective, we saw them get their first win of the year against the Houston Dynamo in Week 6, and they really dominated that second half. What did you see from them that's encouraging for this one?
Well, first of all, their counterattack was absolutely lethal. Darlington Nagbe in a free roll was, the Dynamo had no idea how to contain him, and it wasn't just his creativity going forward, it was the fact that he was dropping back to win balls off the central midfielders as well. I don't think anybody really expected to see that from him. And of course, Ryan Johnson finishing his chances is someone the Quakes know very well. Yeah. He's a player who's always done a lot of good work, but has never been particularly good finisher. Well, now he has 3 goals in 6 games as well. So a lot of things went right for the Timbers. Diego Chara as well had probably his best game in MLS. Still managed to commit a red card worthy foul, but very, very good game nonetheless. So it was sort of everybody kind of discovering their form. They also played slightly deeper than they have earlier in the season. In March, they really looked like last year's Sporting KC team, pressed as high up as they could. But against the Dynamo, they dropped it off a little bit. Maybe that had to do with Diego Valeri going out. They weren't as confident in their possession. I mean, they still had almost 60%. But it was just a slightly different look. And it really allowed those 3 guys in particular, Nagbe, Ryan Johnson, and Chara, to flourish.
Now, the previous 5 meetings in MLS between these 2 clubs have been tight affairs. Portland has 1 win. It was by 1 goal. The other 4 games have all ended as ties. Do you expect this one to be tight like those ones?
I actually think Portland is going to dominate this game beginning to end. And if they finish well, then it's not going to be close. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Earthquakes. I think the Timbers are going to be able to string passes around. They're going to be able to find gaps. The Quakes know that they allow chances. And Portland have started finishing their chances. So it seems to add up. 1 + 1 + 1 = 3 in this instance.
All right, well, let us know what you think in the comments below. This one takes place on Sunday. It kicks off at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, and you can watch it on NBC Sports Network.